What's up, good people? It's your boy Laws OSS 980, other side of sports. I'm here. Y'all know why I'm here. We got to talk. We got to talk. Dan Quinn? Come on. Josh, come on, Josh. Come on, Josh. You can't tell me y'all doing y'all due diligence. Y'all pouring into the team. Y'all gonna turn it around. All this stuff and bring in Dan Quinn. This is terrible. This is worse than what people always been blaming Dan for all the funny business that been happening over the years, and just Josh Harris and this group to end up with Dan Quinn shows a level of just they're out of their league. This is not a town where you can just throw somebody out there. And I don't know what the conversations were behind the scenes, but we're just going to keep it all the way 100. This looks like the next white guy up. I'm just saying what it looks like. I'm not saying that it's that. It just looks like that because there's no way you can convince me that Dan Quinn is the best candidate that you looking at. I don't care about the Ben Johnson not being here. We're going to stop all of that. The Bama Dan Quinn just show because it's like people just forget so quickly. The Bama has a 500 win-loss record over his career as a head coach, dog. 43-42 with the Falcons. You can say, oh, he was a good coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys. They were 5th overall. This reeks of just a level of incompetence around fielding a football team. I don't know if this is Peters and just his, his lack of experience in this category of hiring a coach. You know what this is like? This is like you need to go shopping. You wait until the last minute. You try to go to the store. All the stores is closed. Only store that's open is Dollar General. And you go up in Dollar General, try to find you some gifts for people that ain't gonna last 30 days. It's just the fact that they rolled Dan Quinn out there. This is the thing. We don't know what the conversations are behind the scenes, but this looks extremely bad for this organization. It looks bad. And I don't care what they try to say or what the narrative is. Oh, Dan Quinn is this and that. As bad as they felt about Eric Bieniemy, as much as they try to slander him and say, oh, Eric Bieniemy, he had a terrible season. His resume is better than Dan Quinn, flat out. And the fact that they wasn't even, it's not even like his name. I mean, after they interviewed him, that was just kind of off the table. And then, the local media just, oh, you can't bring him back and stuff. No, if you don't, what I hate? I hate to go to the store, right? I'm looking for a particular item. I'm at the Best Buy. I'm looking for a specific TV. Let's say a high value purchase. I'm in the electronics section looking for a TV. I got my eyes set on a particular TV I want. Or I'm going to the dealership. I'm about to buy a new whip. And I'm thinking I want this. I got my eyes on a new Audi A8 Joe. I'm trying to stunt. Woo, woo, woo. I get in there and they say, Mr. Laws, we all sold out, brother. All we got a hybrid pickup that you don't use, got 85,000 miles on it, going for $15K. What? That's a bad deal. People, that's a bad deal. That's what we say. I don't know what the structure of the contract, how long the contract is. They saying that Chip Kelly might come in and be the OC. Are you kidding me? You bring a dinosaur and then you bring Chip Kelly to be the offensive coordinator? For who? Don't tell me you gonna go and do Three's Company and get Drake May. This joint is a complete fail. I'm out. Y'all be safe. Go ahead, have fun with the. It's just, I'm telling you, this is almost as bad as the Ron Rivera hire. It's almost as bad. Let me tell y'all something. because a lot of y'all fans go see it like it. Oh, it's not that bad. Like Dan Quinn, he gonna be doing X, Y. Stop it. Stop it. I'm telling you, the fact that there's nothing that he could have done in the interview that could have impressed them enough to make him the hire, dog. This is literally like we can't find nobody else, and we not willing to give it to this guy because he's too young and Bobby. So we just gonna go with the veteran head coach and just try to stay afloat, and hopefully, he's just not terrible. You cannot do this at a juncture of time where your franchise is in the balance and bring in a stopgap head coach, what it seems like they're trying to do to just hold you over for the guy you really. If it's anything more than a 1-year deal, you're doing a disservice to this fan base, to the whole Commanders community, all of the above, dog. Because Dan Quinn is not it. He's not it. What a team, look serviceable and kind of look like they okay. Yeah, they'll be middle of the road, but mediocre does not let you get better. Middle of the road 500 doesn't let your team get better. You're primed as any other team. I mean, maybe the Commanders just not as primed and in a position as people thought they was, dog. Maybe they just not that, dog. I don't know. You got a second round pick. You got all this money and capital to work with on the roster. I mean, yeah, you got to navigate the GM for most of it, but literally, like, you have a lot of say in what to do with the offense and the team, and they botch all of that. And hire a defensive head coach who's basically Ron Rivera 2.0, if you ask me. The botch in the playoffs, granted, right? I don't think Dan Quinn's going to come in here and be utter trash. Some people just call him flat out trash. 43 and 42, to me, that's borderline trash. And maybe this is second go round and things may be different. But though, it's insanity to think you're going to get a different result doing the same thing. And Josh Harris, shame on you, bro, because what's going to happen is, like, you're not going to be able to sell. You could have sold Eric Bieniemy a lot better than you could have sold this. At least Eric Bieniemy know offense. At least he been here on the team. If you're not ready, just extend him another year. Just say, Eric, we're just going to bring you here another year. If you do well, it's incentivized. We'll pay you this. If it doesn't work out, then, we're trying to look for another coach. But right now, the market is just not conducive to the people we want to bring in. So just be flat out honest with him. And maybe he might not take the deal. But, like, you can't do this. Not where the team is like, and you can easily just say, we looked at, like, all the options. And right now for the football team in the juncture, in the space where we were in, we didn't want to do a long-term commitment to anything. And Eric Bieniemy, shout out to him and his professionalism to be able in this spot to be able to work with our team and continue the team forward. And, like, people would have got on board with that because a lot of fan base is, like, okay with Eric Bieniemy. It's the radio narrative that's not okay with him, and that's a small percentage of the fan base. Generally, fans was okay with Eric Bieniemy because they understood the circumstances that he was in, and so people could have got on board, and there could have been a little excitement, especially if you get this second pick in the draft correct. Like, there could bring excitement with that. But with Dan Quinn, that excitement is quelled because, dog, he's not the guy. He can't, to me, in my opinion, just from assessment of football, like, he's not it. Dog, he's borderline dinosaur, old philosophies. It's a terrible move by the organization. And, they're not as smart as people think they are. And they don't know this landscape as well as they think they do. It's not basketball. It's not Philly. People not just going to be okay with this type of move when it looks like people know football. And they know people who can get it done versus people who can't. And I'm not saying Ben Johnson was the guy either. But you probably would have been better off just throwing the bank at him. And maybe that was it. Like, the organization is just like, we don't want to do anything long term to have our money tied up and Ben Johnson just asking for too much, and we don't. It's a lot of unknowns with it, right? And from a business standpoint, that makes sense. But if you're trying to get the fan base to buy in on this, right? This is the first part of a 3-part series. You got Peters right, okay? Boom, that part was right. If he was involved in this debacle of dropping the ball and hiring a coach, you're losing trust in your fan base, because the fan base is not going for that foolishness, dog. We've been through decades of that. The incompetent moves, the last minute you didn't get a guy, and now you just trying to pivot, and it looks like emergency hatch type move. Like, just what we gonna do? Let's just do this. Next white guy up. Like, there's no real rationale that you could give me that I could buy into as a fan that's going to be okay with this move. We see Vrabel, I might have got on board. Vrabel, at least his coaching career, he got 11-5 season. He got some winning seasons with the Titans where you can look back and say, okay, this guy, he a leader of men. This dude, he's had some winning seasons. It hasn't gone his way as of late, but this guy at least can hold us from a stability standpoint and an organizational standpoint over until we get the next guy. Dan Quinn, not so much. So I don't know what you going to sell the fan base, how you going to pitch this one, because I'm not going for it, champ. And OSS, Aaron ain't even give his 2 cents, but when Aaron come on here, he's going to go ham. So just prepare for that. Stay tuned. What do y'all think about the move? I mean, I think it's a terrible move. If I had to rate it scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2. Now, like I said, it's the 3-part series. You have the GM, you have to hire the head coach, and then you got to bring on the QB that you're going to bring onto this roster. And they're already, I don't even know if the first move was a 1-for-1. It might be 0-2 right now. About to go 0-3 if they don't get this Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams situation correct. If they go and draft Drake May, it's 0-3. And people going to be like, oh, you speaking too soon. Like, what do you don't even know? Like, it's bad. And it's going to be just riddled with excuses. And really, if the Josh Harris group and Magic Johnson and all of them think that the fans are going to put up with this level of incompetence with the football team and support it and pay money and all that stuff, they're wrong on this one, because Dan Snyder used up all the goodwill that this team has had. All the grace has been used up. You came in here, you told us it was going to be different, and it's still looking the same. And so all that goodwill is out the window, and people are not going to pay for it. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be the first one champion people not to invest any kind of dollars into the Washington Commanders at all. At all. Don't even watch them dudes on TV. They will not get a red cent out of me. No, I'm not buying the gear. I don't care how tight the gear look. You can change the name. You can put up bobbleheads and I don't care what y'all do. I'm not supporting the team. I told you all 32 teams going in the hat. This move just solidified it for me. I know come draft time, they're going to boss that too. So we just going to throw the teams in the hat. Y'all can help me pick my next squad, at least for the next however long Dan Quinn contract is. If it's 3 years, that's where I'm going to pivot. I'm going to be rocking with a different squad, maybe the Cardinals or somebody. I don't care. Whatever team I pick out the hat, that's what I'm going with. But we're going to talk about them because they the local team, but don't think I'm going to be invested. Don't think for 1 second I'm going to be invested, because this shows me that they don't know what they're doing. Dan Quinn, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they're looking at. These people don't know football. They don't understand what goes into, trust me, it's clear that Dan Quinn doesn't even have his people. So you mean to tell me he was prepared for this? He don't even know who his staff's going to be. It's speculations and stuff. Chip Kelly, you're pulling Chip Kelly out of a dark alleyway to bring him up to the team to do offense when he failed his previous time. You bringing failures back to fail again. Granted, I'm all for second chances though, but you got to understand the criticality of where this fan base is and this team. You cannot be just experimenting. And I get it. You saying we don't want to go with a new head coach and just try that and that fail. We want somebody with some experience and try to have that at least to hold us over and stuff like that, right? That's loser mentality. That's loser. If you're going to do that, you should have stuck with Eric Bieniemy. If you're going to just hold over and you just like, we don't want to make the wrong decision, just bring Eric Bieniemy back. Make him the head coach. You would actually get more brownie points for doing that from a public standpoint because the fan base, first of all, Washington Commanders hasn't had a black head coach ever, right? Right. So all the black fan base is going to be with you off top. Second, you then get equity because you can the fan base would understand that, like, okay, you're trying to give them a fair shot. You would actually look good as hiring Eric Bieniemy. You would get brownie points with the league, actually making him a head coach on your football team. Like, as him being an African American, that's a move you can sell to the people. It might not go to the guys on the radio and of a different hue color, but the fan base, people would be in on that. You could have me and different, other people in the community support that, right? The narrative from the radio, they gonna be the narrative. But if you win, that changes the narrative. But I'm just telling you, your chances with Eric Bieniemy were higher to win from a win possibility standpoint than they are with Dan Quinn. And you can say whatever you want, and they may go 9-8 or 7-7, but it just, he's not it. Offense runs the league. Offense dictates teams that win versus teams that lose. So I'm just telling you, it just we gotta be honest about this, people. We gotta be honest about this. This is a terrible move by this group. And Magic, I don't know what your hand is in this whole situation. I don't know how much say you had in the hiring situation. It looked like Josh Harris was out front, looked like Peters was out front, and looked like Magic just took a back seat. But what I'm saying is, people are gonna look at you too, because you putting yourself out as the face that you are helping and know what it takes to build a winner and stuff like this. This trust the process not gonna work here. This is Washington, D.C. This is a whole different breed of media, a whole different breed of pressure and like scrutiny. And like, it's a lot of money here. And you're messing up your money, making dumb decisions like this, bringing in a loser coach from another organization. I'm not even saying it is the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody likes the Dallas Cowboys. You don't even understand. You're not even have the wherewithal to know that the fan base does not even rock with Dallas like that. For you to even bring a head coach or somebody from that organization over here, and you're going to bring multiple people from over there? Dog, you don't understand the rivalry. That shows that you have a lack of awareness of what this fan base is really looking for. Baptists can have the best head coach in the world over at Dallas. Fan base here don't care about that. They don't want them. They don't want them. They don't want them. It'd be one thing if the Dallas Cowboys went to the Super Bowl or they were still playing right now and you end up getting Dan Quinn and stuff like that. That might change the narrative. But you picked the Mamas lost when they should have won in the first round of the playoffs in a wild card with a superior team. No, he can't even. This Bama got all the talent in the world. You're going to bring him to this team with less talent and nobody on the roster and then expect he going to. Listen. Go ahead and cue up the excuses right now because they're coming, people. All the excuses that they use, was his first year. You got to give him time. He don't really have no players like that. And they're like, all the excuses that they're not giving Eric Bieniemy, for real, on the local media. It was a bad situation. He's here, coming after Ron and this and that. The players, we got to get the play calling right, this and that. The quarterback, he's young, he's a rookie. It takes time, this and that. No, you pick the quarterback number 1 and number 2, it's no time. They got to come out cooking. AKA CJ Stroud. Got to come out cooking. So I don't want to hear this, we got to give it time to develop and, blah, blah, blah. Like, stop it. We done with all those excuses, people. We done with all those excuses. I'm not going for it. And if you are, good luck to you. It's your boy Law signing out. Peace.